Have you noticed something odd lately? Payments seem delayed, promises feel vague, and the social security system, the very thing millions rely on, suddenly feels uncertain. Well, something big just happened. A new executive order was signed, and it's changing the game when it comes to social security and federal payments. This isn't just politics as usual. This directly impacts your wallet, your future, and possibly your retirement. Here's what's really going on, and what you need to do right now. Let's start with what this executive order actually is. The president has signed an order aimed at modernizing, streamlining, and decoding to official language, safeguarding the social security and federal payment infrastructure. On the surface, this sounds like good news. Efficient systems, quicker disbursements, greater accountability. But whenever Washington promises efficiency, it's wise to read between the lines. At the heart of this executive order is a sweeping initiative to digitize and centralize how federal benefits including Social Security, disability, veterans compensation, and even federal pensions are distributed. The goal: to eliminate fraud, reduce overhead costs, and prevent delays in times of crisis. Sounds good, right? But here's the twist. This centralization also opens the door to new types of risk and potentially new restrictions. With the push toward digital infrastructure, there's talk of linking federal benefits more directly to digital ID systems, including biometric verification and real-time eligibility tracking. Supporters argue this will reduce errors and make it easier for people to update their status. But critics are raising serious concerns. What happens if a technical glitch locks someone out of their only source of income? What if an error in a government database causes your check to disappear? And more than that, what if future administrations use this infrastructure for more than just efficiency? Here's where it gets even more serious. Tucked into the language of the order is a clause that permits the Department of Treasury and Social Security Administration to evaluate the feasibility of incorporating digital currency mechanisms into future payment systems. Yes, you heard that right. This could be the first step toward federal benefits being issued through a form of central bank digital currency, CBDC. Now, we are not saying this is happening tomorrow, but the door has been cracked open. A digital currency linked directly to federal benefit payments would allow the government to track, limit, and even revoke funds if deemed necessary. Think spending controls, expiration dates on money, or targeted stimulus only usable at approved vendors. It's all technically possible under such a system. And here's where this connects to you. If you're currently receiving Social Security, disability, or other federal payments, or you plan to in the next 10 to 20 years, your income could eventually be tied to how you interact with this new system. Paper checks, gum. Traditional bank routing, phased out. And for people in rural areas or without access to digital infrastructure, this change could be devastating. Here's another under-the-radar detail. The executive order empowers the IRS to share more real-time data with Social Security to improve fraud prevention and eligibility accuracy. While that might seem harmless, it raises big privacy questions. This could mean your tax filings, income shifts, and even side hustles are automatically flagged and reflected in your benefit calculations. Imagine earning a few $100s on the side and suddenly seeing your benefits drop without warning. Now, let's talk about timing. Implementation isn't happening all at once. The order outlines a 12 to 24-month phased rollout. Agencies are already forming task forces, contracting with tech firms, and piloting projects in select states. But here's the catch. If you don't opt into digital services when requested, you could face delays or even suspensions of your payments. That's the leverage being used to drive adoption. And as we've seen before, when federal systems shift, the people who suffer most are those least able to adapt quickly: seniors, the disabled, and lower-income communities. So what can you do? First, get informed. Go to the official Social Security website and create a Social Security account if you haven't already. This will be your access point for future updates. Second, talk to your financial advisor, especially if you rely on federal income for your budget. Ask them how a shift toward digital-only payments could affect your planning. Third, if you're concerned about privacy, now's the time to call your elected representatives. Ask them what safeguards are being put in place. Demand clear, accessible alternatives for people who can't or won't use digital systems. Because here's the truth. We are entering a new era where financial technology and government policy emerging in ways we've never seen before. And while this could bring innovation, it could also bring new control and new risks. This executive order might not make the evening news. It might not trend on social media. But if you or your loved ones rely on Social Security, this is the story you need to follow. Because once these changes take effect, it may be too late to opt out. We're not here to spread panic, but we are here to sound the alarm. Stay informed, stay proactive, and most of all, don't let these changes happen silently. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay sharp, stay prepared.